Hello, I will be giving a presentation on PPC curves, otherwise known as production possibility curve. So what even is the PPC curve? It is a measurement of consumer and capital goods, and actually what is given up between these two. So consumer goods are what the customer or the consumer actually buys. The capital good is what is used to create the consumer good. So the primary purpose of the PPC curve is it shows opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is what you give up in one good to create more of another. Here we can see two dots, this one and this one. In this situation, let's say that the y-axis is consumer goods and the x-axis is capital goods. Basically, initially, you were creating 8 consumer goods for 3 capital goods. Now, you're creating 6 consumer goods for 6 capital goods. So, you're giving up 2 consumer goods for 3 capital goods. This makes your opportunity cost 2/3 per unit. So, this graph is actually describing a increasing opportunity cost where you have to give up increasingly more and more consumer goods to create more capital goods, and vice versa is also true. And there's also constant opportunity cost, which looks much more so like a line, like that, where you are giving up a more constant opportunity cost. Here, we can see the slope of the line is actually 2/2. So you're giving up, for every 2 consumer goods, you are giving up 2 capital goods every single time. The next slide. All right. So here, why is PPC important? So PPC is actually showing all the different types of combinations you can create using that are efficient for the economy. In this situation, we have A, B, C, D, and E, which are all different types of combinations you can create and are all efficient combinations for the economy using its given resources. With this knowledge, you can actually assess the health of the economy. So you could see that if the economy is currently producing at a point that is on the curve, you can see the economy is a healthy economy because it's producing using all its given resources and it's producing at optimal capacity. However, if the point is within the curve, let's say right here, you're not producing within your optimal capacity. You're actually producing less than what you can possibly produce. So therefore, your economy would either be in a recession and is producing at suboptimal levels, which is obviously not good. Okay, so how does the PPC work? Again, as said, if the point is within the curve, so for example, 1 here, you're producing at suboptimal levels. If the point is on the curve, you're producing at optimal levels, or levels that correctly utilize the amount of resources you have. And at 2, for example, you're actually producing at a level that is not possible. So you wouldn't be able to actually produce at that level just because that is more than your current resources your current resources can afford to do. So basically, PPC, what you can draw the actual curve by getting a list of possible consumer and capital good combinations. Then you can connect those points using the curve, and you can plot the curve that you can plot the point that you currently are producing at. Okay, so shifters. So there's actually general shifters and then more specific shifters. So human capital is a big shifter, human capital and overall resources. So, for example, if human capital within a country actually increases, think about it, you'll actually get more resources, and therefore your economy will produce at a higher level. And your overall economy will be able to produce at, so you would shift your production possibility curve outward. The vice versa is true for if your human capital decreases, your total resources are actually less, so then your economy's maximum production is less now, so it'd have to shift inward. And if the also we can look at economies shifting up and down a curve. In this slide right here, we can see two examples. We can see 3 and 4. So right here, 3 is you're producing more consumer goods and less capital goods. And 4, you're producing more capital goods and less consumer goods. So again, I said capital goods are used to actually create consumer goods. So if you have more capital goods, you'll be able to create more consumer goods as well. So therefore, if you shift from 3 to 4, making more capital goods, your economy will be able to produce at a higher level. Therefore, your economy would actually shift outwards. Vice versa is true. If you shift from 4 to 3, you're creating less capital goods. Therefore, your economy will shift inwards. And the three specific shifters are change in resources slash of the quantity and quality, change in technology, and change in trade. Again, improvements in any of these things will increase the possible production you have, while decrease in quality of any of these things will again decrease the possible production that you have. All right, let's move to some examples. So here, Gooberland sees an increase in corn, which is very important, a consumer good. So let's say the among this population, how would they shift the PPC curve in the short run? So let's say its initial production is at A, and you're trying to go to, and now because it's producing more corn, more consumer goods, this would again be the consumer axis. You're going to B. This shift is actually lessening capital goods. What happens when you lessen capital goods? You shift your curve inwards. Here, in Operation Iraqi Freedom, the American military might destroy human capital. What happens to the PPC curve of Iraq? Again, if human capital decreases, what happens? Your resources, overall resources decrease. Your economy can no longer produce at the same capacity it could at maximum capacity. So therefore, your actual PPC curve would shift inwards, as seen in this graph. And final example, Bafunia innovates technology to increase productivity in its factories. Innovates technology is the key word here. If your technology increases, your maximum capacity to create actually increases. You have more resources. You can create more at a higher level than you could before. Therefore, your curve would shift outwards. Now that we've gone over all the possible scenarios, all the possible examples, I think this has been a good review. Thank you so much for listening, and hope you understand more about PPC production possibility curves.